At 11:38 p.m., on a quiet Saturday night in Columbus, Ohio, a cell phone vibrated on a kitchen counter nearly 200 miles away. It was a mother calling her daughter. The phone rang and rang and rang, then voicemail. For most people, a missed call means nothing. For Susan Holloway, it meant everything, because her daughter, Rachel Holloway, never missed a call, not once in 8 years. And when Rachel's phone went silent that night, it wasn't an accident. It was the moment a carefully hidden truth began to surface. Rachel Holloway was the kind of person people described as dependable. She was born on June 3, 1988, raised in Dayton, Ohio, and moved to Columbus after college for work. By 2018, she was 29 years old, living alone in a modest one-bedroom apartment on East Broad Street, just east of downtown. She worked as a patient intake coordinator at a private medical clinic, an administrative role that required accuracy, empathy, and consistency. Rachel had all three. Her coworkers noticed the same thing everyone else did. She followed routines. She parked in the same spot, ordered the same lunch, left work within the same 10-minute window every evening. And every night at 10 p.m. Eastern, she called her mother. That call wasn't casual. It wasn't random. It was a promise. I'm home. I'm safe. Susan Holloway could tell the time without looking at a clock. At 9:58 p.m., she would put her phone on the kitchen counter. 10 p.m., it would ring. Sometimes Rachel talked about work. Sometimes about traffic. Sometimes about nothing at all. But she always called. If Rachel was running late, she texted. If she was exhausted, she still checked in. If she was upset, she called anyway. So when 10 p.m. came and went on April 14, 2018, Susan noticed immediately. At 10:07 p.m., Susan called Rachel herself. No answer. At 10:15 p.m., she sent a text. Call me when you get in. No response. By 10:45 p.m., Susan's concern had turned into fear. Earlier that evening, Rachel had followed her routine. She clocked out of work at 9:32 p.m. Security cameras showed her walking to her car at 9:36 p.m. Her phone connected to her car's Bluetooth at 9:38 p.m. At 9:41 p.m., Rachel sent her last text message. Leaving now. Home soon. Love you. Her drive home should have taken 12 minutes. She never made another call. Never sent another text. Never opened another app. At 10:22 p.m., her phone stopped registering movement entirely. At 1:18 a.m. on April 15th, Columbus police entered Rachel's apartment. The door was unlocked. Inside, everything looked normal. Her purse sat on the kitchen counter. Her shoes were placed neatly near the door. A half-eaten meal rested on the table. Her phone was plugged in, charging on the nightstand. But Rachel was gone. There were no signs of forced entry. No broken glass, no overturned furniture. It was as if she had simply vanished, leaving her life behind. Rachel's phone became the center of the investigation. Data showed activity until 10:22 p.m. After that, nothing. No calls, no messages, no movement. Investigators noted something unsettling. Rachel left without her phone. For someone who never missed a call, that detail mattered. Phones are lifelines. They don't get left behind accidentally. Investigators began reconstructing Rachel's personal life. Friends, co-workers, neighbors. One name surfaced repeatedly. Evan Mercer, Rachel's ex-boyfriend. They had dated for nearly 2 years before breaking up in late 2017. According to Evan, the relationship ended amicably. He told police he hadn't spoken to Rachel in months. Phone records contradicted that. They had exchanged calls and texts as recently as that week. When asked where he was on April 14th, Evan said he was home alone. Cell tower data placed him less than a mile from Rachel's apartment at 10:12 p.m. Then came the detail that changed everything. Rachel's voicemail log showed one deleted message. Timestamped 10:19 p.m. length, 14 seconds. Rachel never deleted voicemails without listening to them. Forensic recovery revealed distorted audio. A man's voice. Low. Urgent. Rachel. It's me, we need to talk. That voicemail was left minutes before her phone went silent. Under questioning, Evan's story began to unravel. Surveillance cameras showed his car near Rachel's apartment. License plate readers confirmed his route. His phone data placed him at her building. After 11 hours of interrogation, Evan broke. He admitted going to Rachel's apartment. He admitted they argued. He admitted he lost control. Rachel answered the door. She always answered. Evan Mercer was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 30 years to life. Rachel Holloway's phone remains in evidence. Locked. Unanswered. Susan Holloway still keeps her phone on the kitchen counter at night. Sometimes, she calls Rachel's number. It goes straight to voicemail. She never missed a call. So when her phone went silent, it wasn't a coincidence. It was the moment the truth finally demanded to be heard. If you did find this video intriguing, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating true crime stories, and do well to tap the next video on your screen. See you on the next video.